Most people buy scalp massages thinking more massage equals more growth equals better hair. So they press it harder, use it longer, do it more often without any internal support. But that causes hair fall and makes your scalp massager fail to show any results. Because the truth is, the scalp massager isn't useless. You're just using it in a way that cancels out the results. So once you understand why that happens, everything about this tool will start making sense. You see, I've been using this exact scalp massager for the last 5 years, and I can tell you, this is the one thing in my hair routine that I will never ever stop using for the rest of my life. But still, I have used it in the wrong way before using it in the right way. Because the problem with the scalp massager is that it is a very simple tool. So most people think just rub it on your head and it will make your hair grow. And I was one of those people. But the reality is, massager तुम्हारे scalp के लिए exercise की तरह काम करता है. If you work out correctly, you'll get stronger. If you work out incorrectly, you'll get injured. So in this video, I'll show you why the scalp massager fails to show any results for most people and how to fix them. And then I'll give you a very simple and easy to follow routine जिसे तुम आज से ही शुरू कर सकते हो. No complicated systems, no expensive upgrades, just the correct method. But before we talk about why scalp massages fail, you need to understand why they actually work. क्योंकि एक बार तुम्हें इसकी real working समझ आ गई, तो तुम immediately समझ जाओगे ज़्यादातर लोग कहाँ गलती करते हैं. And by the way, if your scalp feels sore, itchy or sensitive after using a scalp massager, that is not good stimulation. That is damage. Most people think scalp massager works because it feels nice and relaxes the head. So they treat it like a stress relief tool, not realizing that its real job is something much deeper. Here's how and why a scalp massager actually works better than you think. बहुत पहले जब मैंने scalp massager यूज करना शुरू किया था, I used it randomly without any structure. तो उसे यूज करने के बाद मुझे बस एक ही डिफरेंस दिखता था, slight hair fall and a sore scalp. So I decided to change it. And it wasn't until I learned what it was actually doing inside my scalp that I began to notice those small improvements that grew over time. Most people think a scalp massager is about relaxation, but in reality, it's about blood circulation, oxygen delivery and nutrient transport, not only comfort. तो मसाज करने के बाद भी अगर ये तीनों चीजें इंप्रूव नहीं होंगी तो हेयर ग्रोथ भी इंप्रूव नहीं होगी. Because your roots don't actually grow hair on their own. They depend completely on your blood supply. And this blood supply is controlled by how well your scalp is stimulated. जब तुम सही तरीके से मसाज करते हो तो तुम्हारे हेड में ब्लड फ्लो इंक्रीज होता है और फ्रेश ब्लड के साथ ऑक्सीजन, न्यूट्रिएंट्स और हेयर ग्रोथ सिग्नल्स भी तुम्हारे रूट्स तक पहुंचते हैं. But a massage also does a lot more than that. Because at the same time, massage loosens build up dead skin and excess oil, so it clears clogged follicles, जो कि बहुत ज़रूरी है proper hair growth के लिए. But the best part is, regular stimulation keeps the scalp tissue flexible, and a flexible scalp allows follicles to expand and function better over time. So, when done correctly, a scalp massager doesn't force growth. It simply creates the perfect environment where growth becomes natural. But here's a little catch. ये सारे काम तभी होंगे जब तुम स्कैल्प मसाजर को सही टेक्निक से यूज करोगे. Because if that is wrong, the exact opposite starts happening. This is why so many people see hair fall instead of hair growth. They don't fail because of wrong tools. They fail because of a wrong technique, which majorly includes 3 mistakes in my opinion. And the worst is, I think, using too much pressure, because that is where the real damage begins. Most people think if gentle massages help, harder massages will help more. So without even realizing it, they start pressing it harder and harder every day and start making one of the most critical mistakes while using a massager: too much pressure. But this mistake happens because more than often your first instinct is to press it firmly because you want to feel that it is working. But in doing so, you forget that your follicles are not muscles, so they won't grow under pressure. हेयर फॉलिकल्स बहुत डेलिकेट स्ट्रक्चर्स होते हैं जो स्टिमुलेशन से बाल ग्रो करते हैं, फोर्स से नहीं. एंड दिस वन डिफरेंस चेंजेस एवरीथिंग. व्हेन यू प्रेस टू हार्ड व्हाइल मसाजिंग, you create micro-inflammation, and this inflammation makes the follicles stressed instead of energized. और stressed follicles survival mode में चले जाते हैं, which slows down hair growth, while at the same time, this heavy pressure pulls on the weak roots. So instead of strengthening your hair, you start shedding it. इसीलिए बहुत सारे लोगों को स्कैल्प मसाजर से हेयर फॉल होने लगता है. बट इट इज नॉट बिकॉज द टूल इज बैड, इट इज जस्ट दैट दे आर अप्लाइंग द रॉन्ग प्रेशर. A scalp massager should move on your head, not scrape it. तुम्हें warmth और relaxation feel होनी चाहिए, pain और soreness नहीं. So press on it lightly, let it move across the scalp gently, let it stimulate your scalp slowly. But you know what makes your results suffer the most? It is using a scalp massager with a wrong timing. Because most people use a scalp massager randomly without a fixed pattern. And that is a huge problem. Because scalp stimulation works like exercise. Random workout से muscle build नहीं होती, structured workouts से होती है. And your hair growth works kind of the same way. Your scalp responds best to stimulation when the blood flow is already active, like after washing, after oiling or before sleeping. This is when the follicles are the most receptive. तो अगर तुम dry, dirty या stressed scalp को massage करोगे, most of the stimulation will simply get wasted. I'll tell you a very simple way to use the scalp massager every day at the right time consistently. पर उससे पहले, let me tell you something very important. This is the main building block behind any scalp massager working successfully to improve your hair growth. And that is inner support. I know most people think massage alone is enough, but stimulation without inner support is like watering soil without seeds. Nothing will grow no matter how much water you pour over it. क्योंकि अगर तुम मसाजर को यूज करके अपने ब्लड फ्लो को इंप्रूव कर भी लोगे, but there is nothing useful in your blood, no nutrients, no building blocks, there will be no growth either. Because your hair is made of protein, minerals and vitamins that your blood supplies to your head. तो अगर तुम्हारे ब्लड में ही ये चीजें नहीं होंगी, your roots will stay weak no matter how much you stimulate them. This is why so many people massage daily for months and still see thin hair. So always remember one thing while massaging. Scalp massager सिर्फ एक booster है, ये nutrition का replacement नहीं है. So without inner support, this becomes useless, just like any vehicle without fuel. But the good part is, it is surprisingly easy to improve that inner support. All you need is a wellness brand that you trust. You see, more than often, our regular diet doesn't fulfill the daily needs of everything essential for faster and better hair growth. But we can supply all these nutrients to the body very easily using hair multivitamins. तुम्हें ये लगभग सारे wellness brands में मिल जाएंगे और इनके usage directions usually bottle के पीछे लिखे होते हैं. So make sure to go through it. So now you understand why making even one of these mistakes makes your scalp massager completely useless. So all that is left for you is the simple routine that is easy enough to be followed every day. The most interesting part about this routine is the reason it works is not because it is intense, but because it is structured and simple enough to be followed every day consistently. And it starts with a clean or balanced scalp. तुम्हें हमेशा dirty, sweaty और heavily oiled scalp को massage करना avoid करना चाहिए, because massaging on build-up can push the dirt deeper into the scalp. It doesn't have to be completely freshly washed, पर अगर तुम्हारा scalp बहुत ज़्यादा dusty और greasy है, wash it first. And also because that is actually the best time to massage it. When your scalp is slightly damp, not dripping wet, the blood flow increases faster and the friction stays low. तो तुम्हें stimulation मिल जाएगा बिना किसी damage के. But even in this damp state, तुम्हें अपने scalp को घंटों तक मसाज करने की कोई नीड नहीं है. 3 to 5 minutes की मसाज इनफ रहती है ब्लड सर्कुलेशन को एक्टिवेट करने के लिए विदाउट स्ट्रेसिंग द फॉलिकल्स. 5 minutes daily can easily beat 20 minutes randomly. Just ensure 2 things. मसाजर को तुम्हें slowly move करना है छोटे छोटे सर्कल्स में with light pressure. Let the silicone tips do the work and always remember this. If your scalp turns red and hurts, you're doing it wrong. Warm is good. Pain is damage. So massage your scalp lightly, and the best time to massage is before bed. Because blood circulation stays high during sleep, but more importantly, that's when repair and growth happens. Look at it like this. Morning massages तुम्हें temporary boost देते हैं, पर night massages तुम्हें long term results देते हैं. And here's a pro tip for you. मसाज के बाद अगर तुम्हें अपने स्कैल्प को बाहर से फीड करना है with some hair growth stuff, then try applying a lightweight serum instead of heavy oils and thick layers of anything. Because you want your follicles to breathe, to be open and active, not blocked. So, a scalp massager doesn't fail because it is useless. It fails because people use it the wrong way without supporting the effort from the inside. Too much pressure, wrong timing, no internal support, and no real routine. Just fix these 4 things and the same scalp massager will start working like magic. You don't need more tools or better products. You need better habits repeated every day. That is what actually grows the hair. But I've also made a video that covers the solutions to other major hair related problems. उस वीडियो में मैंने काफ़ी सारे major hair issues के solutions बताए हैं in the simplest way possible. उस वीडियो को मैं pinned comment में link कर दूंगा along with my full hair routine. But whatever you decide to watch next, always remember, I love you. Thank you for everything.